Hey guys, welcome back to our third week team builder. No, our second week team builder. Already fucking it up. Second week team builder for the third season of the PBO, and we are the Wichita Weaviles out here representing. And this week we play against the. Oh, it's so scuffed actually. Wait, I feel so bad. What is his name? Whoops. Oh, the New York Malamars. Sorry, I was thinking about last season, the New York Knickets, you know? Our good homie and buddy. Because we did a little collaboration, a little help each other out last season. Anyway, the New York Malamars, new New York, new guy, everything. So, with that being said, let's take a look at his team. This guy is rocking some threats. So he's rocking Sneasler, Masquerada, Avalug, Driftblim, Wishcash, Murkrow, Rillaboom, Slowkin G, Tinkertuff, Grumpig, and Lycanroc Midnight. And for his Terra Captain, it is the Avalug, as you can see below me here. And he's rocking the Ice, Fighting, and Water Terra. So, when we look at his team, as you guys can see, it's pretty physically offensive. Like, it's basically all physically offensive with the exception of Mr. Slowking. So, gotta keep that in mind. And I guess Drifblim also could be special. So, that's why you guys will see a lot of physical defensive guys. So, first things first, let's start with Sorino here, our Oricorio Pom-Pom. If you get the reference, you get the reference. I'm excited to use this mon. So, it's hard to explain how we came to this conclusion. We as in myself, because obviously I built by myself. So basically, when I look at his team, he has a lot of things going on. So one, clearly he has Unburden users out the wazoo. Not really, he just has two, right? Driftblim and Sneasler. And obviously he has Rillaboom Amon that wants to set up that terrain for him to use all the grassy seeds and whatnot he needs to use his items to get the Unburden proc. My Rillaboom switchings on this team is pretty hard, so I decided to try to create one here. So this is what this Oricorio is here for. It is basically our designated lead, because if he leads Rillaboom, we kind of lose the game. So we have to lead this, and this is our matchup against it. So, Sorino here, Oricorio Pom-Pom, is rocking Revelation Dance, Hurricane, Roost, and U-Turn. 160 HP, 252 defense, 96 speed with a timid nature. With this speed, it allows us to outspeed Adamant Rillaboom. If it's Jolly Rillaboom, then it cannot 2KO us, so that's kind of why I EV'd it the way we did, because it either is faster than us and can't 2KO us, takes some Rocky Helmet chip value, or it doesn't outspeed us and hopefully we kill it with Hurricane, or we do a billion, not billion, we do like, you know, some decent chip with U-turn, try to reposition, right? Something like this. Rocky Helmet is here again, it helps us with lead because it lets us match up against Rillaboom on the lead better, and it also lets us have a mon that can just kind of switch into random resisted moves. So this is the Rillaboom U-turn, the Masquerada U-turn, even a Sneasler CC for example, right? Maybe even Wishcash, right? If you've been DD Wishcash and it's like EQ, DD, Waterfall, right? Something like this. Like it helps us. It's not resisted, but it helps us do some chip. Also, this Oricorio is kind of what I'm going to be calling a knockoff sack. Because basically, what this is our mon that can actually switch in and take a knockoff. Whether that's a banded knockoff from Rillaboom, a supportive knockoff from Rillaboom, or even just a Masquerada. Choice by Masquerada shamones our team. Today, it really does cook our team, so we gotta show some respect to that when we play. But other than that, I think it's nice. I will say, a banded knockoff just cannot 2KO us after item is disassembled. Is, you know, gone, so that's good for us. As well, so sorry, with that in mind, being a knockoff switching kind of thing, I was just like, we'll put Rocky Helmet on, we'll get some kind of value, whether it's, you know, whether it's a 12%, 16%, 32% of, like, value, chip is chip, you know, value. I don't feel like we need boots, because he has very limited rockers. Tinkertuff, which I think should come, because he has Grassy Terrain X Grassy Terrain X Tinkertuff, so you can switch into Earthquakes. Perfectly fine from a Haxorus. Liking Rock Midnight, which I don't think is coming. I think that mon is pretty bad. And then Wishcash is his final rocker. He has run Rock to Wishcash before, so something to keep in mind. Anyway, so I don't feel like hazards are coming in spades. Obviously, he does have a fantastic spikes and toxic spikes setter in Masquerada, but then it's not really offensive Masquerada, so then I feel like we can match up better to that. So that's Sorano for this week. Much more physically defensive. It's just a check to Rillaboom, check to physical attackers. We don't need any kind of investment to do big damage to thins with Hurricane. And Revelation Dance is nice to hit like Terra Water, Avalok HUD, and it helps us deal with Drift Blim as well. So that's Sorano. Whatever. The next thing to talk about is our second debut of Mon, Banshee the Mischievous. So, as you guys can see, like we kind of talked about, he's a very physically offensive team, with the exception of Mr. Slowking there. Slowking obviously hits pretty hard, considering you don't usually put investment into it. And I believe he gets Nasty Plot too, so he could even cook us like that. So this week, we're bringing Mischievous kind of as a pseudo special wall. It's not really a real special wall, but it's a kind of a special wall switching, you know, a poison resist, our Mon that's going to try to take a future sight, because I don't want Sailor to be overwhelmed. We'll get there when we get there to Sailor. So, we're bringing Hex, Will-O-Wisp, Sub, and Calm Mind this week. Obviously leftovers. Well, not obviously. It was hard to do between that and, what's it called, and, what is it? A Violite. But I felt like the sustain was going to be very good if we get behind the sub. So the way this investment works is a +1, Slowking can't break a sub with, the only thing it can break a sub with is, what is it called? Psyshock can always break a sub because it's on the physical side. Psychic does not break a sub at +1, and Future Sight does, but at +2, Future Sight does not. I don't think he'll win Psyshock, because Psyshock, like I keep talking about, his team is so physically offensive that, like, why are we bringing Psyshock, you know? Because considering, like, a lot of my mons would be physically defensively invested, right? So I think he should win Future Sight. I think that's like the best thing for him. Maybe he been Psychic or something because he doesn't want the delay damage. Makes sense. So something like that. We have Hex because it complements with Will-O-Wisp really well. Will-O-Wisp again cripples his whole team because it's basically mono physical attackers. Substitute is nice because it lets us substitute on Sludge Bomb, it lets us substitute on Chilly Reception, it lets us substitute on something like Thunder Wave, maybe a potential Thunder Wave Slowking, you know? So something like this, right? And then Calm Mind because it helps us obviously beat the guy is very descriptive. the Glowking, the Galarian Slowking, sorry. So that's really good. There's some other mons that we can really use and abuse as well with this set. So one would be like a Tinkertuff. If Tinkertuff switches in on Hex, right? Switches on Will-O-Wisp and it's burnt, we can sub on it. Even if we have leftovers, the knockoff does like just under the substitute range, so we can actually sub up on a burnt Tinkertuff. Fantastic. That's super cool, super awesome. This also soft checks something like a Sneasler with no Night Slash, because we just naturally resist off its moves. It's not great because we don't have a Violite and we don't have a lot of investment, but we do have max HP, so it is what it is, you know? It's a soft check, it's not great. And finally, my biggest thing for this is this completely shuts down Avalok. So Avalok usually runs something like Recover, Rapid Spin, Body Press, and Avalanche, right? Sometimes I think it gets Earthquake too. So you know this is its move pool. Very strong, physically defensive Pokemon. It is amazing. It's like Fortress on crack, right? Super cool. Has recovery. It's awesome. If I burn Mr. Avalok, Ice Spinner and Avalanche both cannot break my sub. So there's no ice stab you can bring that would let us break the sub there. So that's really cool. That's all I got to say. Easy breezy, right? So then we can sub up on it, and then we can just start spamming Will-O-Wisp because something has to come and take a Will-O-Wisp, and then we can spam Hex kind of thing. So this is also our spin blocker because Avalanche only works, if you don't know, Avalanche is a 60 base power ice move, and it doubles if the opponent, I believe it gets hit, gets hit by the opponent. So even if he clicks Avalanche when we switch in to block its spin or body press or recover, whatever it is, right? It doesn't do too much damage. It does like 33%, which is kind of a lot, but with lefties it helps mitigate that. Then we can start spamming Will-O-Wisp, and then we can sub, and we can try to abuse that. But big thing is that this is just our spin blocker, because this couples really nicely with our next mon that we're bringing, a returning member from last week. We're bringing back our Quillfish. This week we're running the Liquidation, Gunkshot, Spikes, Haze, Black Sludge, Intimidate, 236 HP and 236 defense with the Impish Nature and 36 speed. So, this is our... There's two pieces to this. One, this is our Spike setter. So we're just going to Spike stack. Spike stack. Oh my goodness, say that 10 times fast. Spike stack. Spike stack. Spike stack. Anyway, you get the idea. We're going to spike stack this game. I want to get spikes up as fast as possible because he only really has one rapid spinner in that Avalugg, which we're just going to spin block with Banshee anyway. You see what I'm saying? We got a plan for this bitch. We got a plan. So yeah, it's very good. Liquidation is nice, you know, come in, maybe a defense drop, it is what it is. Gunk Shot's obviously good for Rillaboom. It's also good for Muscarada. This does soft check Muscarada pretty okay. Not that I want to use it for that, because this is our main form of dealing with Sneasler. With Intimidate, with being a poison type, we can just basically shut this thing down. If he ends up being like sub SD, some really wacky like set you would only see in draft, for example, we have Haze, because Haze will let us just completely invalidate that. And yeah, so that's what it is. This mon is really here for Sneasler. Get up spikes, should be pretty good. If it's not Earthquake on Avalugg, this also can just sit on Avalugg the whole day and like just spam spikes. So it's pretty simple. The 36 speed, which is kind of a random number because we're not max defense, max HP, right? We're 236 and 236 with Impish. That 36 speed is me really trying to speed creep a no speed random Rillaboom if it's like Leech Seed knockoff, like a supportive set. Then Gunk Shot does a billion damage, right? I think it does like 70% mid or something if he's max HP. It's just really random, but it didn't affect the calcs too much, so I was just like, okay, if we can speed creep some random shit, we'll put it in there. It is what it is. Okay. Then we got Saola, our Sylveon. Basically, physically defensive, right? Max HP, max defense, bold nature. Leftovers, easy breezy. Pixelate, obviously. And then we're running Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, Baton Pass. It's the same set as last week. No problemo. And basically, this is what's going to happen. This mon soft checks Muscarada nicely. This mon basically beats Wish Cache. Like, it just sits on Wish Cache. It can Wish Pass on Wish Cache. Even Avalugg, like, does nothing. If we just sat there, Wish Protect the whole game, like, I mean, Wish Baton Pass the whole game on Avalugg, that kind of thing, right? Helps us deal with Murkrow too, because Murkrow can get messy with like Prankster and stuff. It just comes in and one taps it. He doesn't have a great switch into this, with the exception of Glowkeen, so, which goes back to the idea of like trying to Baton Pass into Banshee, for example, and try to pressure that. So it's just here to like take hits. It does live one Dire Claw, like no matter what, unless if it's a +2. But if it's just a regular Dire Claw, we live it no matter what, with the exception of Band. And then Hyper Voice does like 60% to it, so it's quite a bit of damage that this thing can soak even on super effective hits. And yeah, there's also soft check stuff like in Rock Midnight, even if it's Trace Banded and stuff. Like, it's pretty hard to 2 KO with like Leftovers, Recovery, X Protect. So she's just the standard wall, you know what I'm saying? She's the standard support mon, the GOAT mon for sure. It's not too exciting to talk about. Then we got the Boulder, aka the Kid. No, aka Treads, aka putting in nothing but the finest at work. True. So this week we're running Earthquake, Ice Spinner, Volt Switch, Rapid Spin. Leftovers, we're running 168 HP, 252 attack, 88 speed with a Jolly Nature. So as you guys can see from his team again below me, his team is pretty slow. Just overall, he has a lot of like base 85 Pokemon is kind of like where the majority of his team sits, or like the majority of the threats. And then he has like obviously very fast mons like Muscarada and Sneasel that won't have outspeed anyway. And then a bunch of Unburdened mons that which is like trying to speed creep for Unburdened is like almost impossible. It's very hard to do. So we've just decided to go with a bulkier tread set. Basically, we're running enough speed to outspeed stuff like Rillaboom, outspeed stuff like what is it called? I'm blanking. Oh, max speed Driftblim as well. Stuff like that, right? Like Rock Midnight as well, we outspeed. Stuff like this, Grumpig as well. So like we just kind of outspeed most things on his team, except for the things we can never outspeed. We put the rest into HP, because this Mon, just in general, I think this Mon's gonna get knocked off as well. So for example, Tinkertuff. If Tinkertuff comes, like this Mon, I'll just go hard into this thing every time. Because I really don't care. If this thing gets knocked off, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's immune to Thunder Wave. It's going to eat Gigaton Hammers relatively respectfully. And then we can try to spin rocks, for example, if Tinkertuff puts up rocks, right? So this is kind of like my Tinkertuff answer. Ice Spinner has an insane value this game because he does have terrain. And depending on how the Rillaboom is EV'd, it's either going to be a 2-hit KO or it's going to be, 45% or something, right? Depending if he's max HP or not. This comes in on Murkrow easily as well. I mean, the Thunder Wave, stuff like that, so that's very good. Yeah, and again, his only spin blocker this game is Driftblim. And Driftblim doesn't really want to come in on like a Volt Switch for momentum, or he doesn't want to come in on like an Ice Spinner, depending on if it's physically defensive, it's easier for him to come in on it, but if it's like a offensive Unburdened set, then maybe not, right? Plus, again, we talk about things like Grumpig Psychic moves, Liking rock moves and stuff like this. Like, it's just gonna come in, use its natural bulk, natural typing, sorry, with the bulk that we've invested with the HP, and Lefties is gonna keep him sticking around just a little bit longer. So that's the boulder for this week. Yep. It should be good. I mean, this is just a really nice coverage. And yeah, Lefty's Grassy Terrain coverage, recovery, sorry, really should make this guy stick around for quite a long time. And then last but not least, we have the Queen. Okay, I keep saying that, I keep hyping her up, but like she never actually does anything in the fucking game. I swear to God, she will do something. Prage. We're rocking. Here's like a Haxorus, okay? We're rocking I always mess this name up. Kiara. Anyway, we're rocking a Haxorus this week. We're rocking Dragonclaw, Stomping Tantrum, First Impression, and Draco Media with 240 attack, naughty nature, 44 special attack nature. I mean, sorry, nature, 44 special attack, and 224 speed with Life Orb and then the Unnerve ability, and we're rocking Terra Dragon this week. Well, let me tell you about this set. I am so unbelievably excited to use this set. It's gonna be so fucking awesome. I fucking hope so. If this shit doesn't go off, it's over for me, dog. I'm gonna be so bad. Okay, so I'm so hyped for this set. Okay, focus. So basically, here's the set, right? The biggest problem on his team for me, for Haxorus, because Haxorus can't just set up on his team because he's Avalugg. Avalugg basically walls his Mon 1,000 times over. Even if I'm Terra Steel, which we have an option for, and we SD Terra Steel, Iron Head, he switches in Avalugg, takes like less than 50% from +2, like it's insane. This is so fucking tanky, it's disgusting. And then he just Terra Waters. He says, fuck you, and just Terra Waters, and then resist my Iron Head. Like, it's so hard to kill this bitch, so we took a strat we used last season with Mr. Baxcalibur. Mr. Baxcalibur was running into a similar problem with a Fizz-Def Cloyster, you know what I'm saying? And we fixed that with Terra Draco real quick. So, here's the plan, boys. This is the plan. We're rocking Draco Media Terra Dragon. That turns Draco Media into a 260 power move. If we look at Avalugg, Avalugg has a 46 special defense stat, which is technically lower than our special attack stat. So we're going to be doing some asinine damage to this thing. So Terra Draco does like 80% min. It's 80% to like 95%. Like it's a crazy number. So basically, I can just Terra Dragon and Dragon Claw, which also does good damage to basically everything on his team except for Tinkertuff. Right? And then we can Terra Draco after and kill him. So we're rocking the mixed Haxorus. It's very exciting. And then we are rocking the First Impression as well, because First Impression has a really good matchup into things like Masquerada, has a really good matchup into Rillaboom as well. If it's max HP Rillaboom, it does like 86 min. If it's no HP Rillaboom, oh sorry, no, this is how the count goes. If it's a max HP Rillaboom, we have it's like almost a 50-50 chance to kill it. If it's no HP Rillaboom, we do kill it. So that's really awesome. Priority is also just nice to have. It's good against Grumpig. It's good against even something like a Wishcash, right? If Wishcash is like Life Orb, for example, maybe you set up, took some Rocky Helmet chip, Life Orb chip down. Like First Impression is gonna hurt because it's coming off a 429 attack stat, Life Orb boosted, right? So there's that. And finally, we are rocking Stomping Tantrum, because Stomping Tantrum is not cut in half by Grassy Terrain. So Grassy Terrain makes things a little harder, because Grassy Terrain allows things to switch into Earthquake really effectively. So this is why we're not running Terra Ground this week. Grassy Terrain makes things like Tinkertuff just come in and just completely just eat it up, dog. He's having it for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Like, he's just eating that shit up easy. So here's what we did instead. Stomping Tantrum, if you don't know, is a base 75 power move, and it doubles if the last move that you use failed. Okay? If Tinkertuff comes in and I go for a dragon move, my next follow-up Stomping Tantrum is going to be 150 base power, can't be cut in half by the what's it called, by the Grassy Terrain. So this is a very powerful hit on Tinkertuff. It's just hard to do. It's just very hard to switch into. This also applies to something like Galarian Slowking, which if it's physically defensive, I think could have a high chance of running a Shucker Berry, because Shucker Berry would be very good for Haxorus, to check Haxorus, right? I will say, Dragon Claw does 2 KO it, but if he's, you can get, it's like, you can get into some kind of rolls and stuff, so it's a little messy, but Stomping Tantrum is just good chip in general, and if you guys think about it, it's really easy for me to fail a move because we have Dragon Claw and they have a Fairy type, so that makes sense. And also we have First Impression. So First Impression, if you guys don't know, because it's kind of a unique move, it basically always goes first, but you can only use it the first time you come in. So basically, if I click First Impression and he goes into a Mon, and it fails, my follow-up Stomping Tantrum will be 150 base power. So I thought that was super cool tech to run, because I think like very rarely do you want to fail a move so you can do some nutty damage the next turn. So I thought that was fun. And finally, I mean not finally, but in the ability we're rocking is Unnerve, because Unnerve will help us like do like basically void any kind of like random berries they have. There's nothing Mold Breaker really does here. So yeah. Oh, also, I mean I think I already talked about this, but just make it very clear. I don't like Masquerada at all. This Pokemon is so fucking hard to, like, it's not fun to play against. I mean, it's a very good mon, but, like, it can do so many different things, right? So having First Impression to be able to just, like, always check it all the time is very nice. So, yeah, I think that's our team. I'm really excited, super excited to use this Haxorus set, pretty excited to use this Mischievous set. And, yeah, I'm very excited to spike stack this week. We're using physical treads because last week we busted out the earth power treads, boys, which was really cool. So yeah, hopefully the battle goes well, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching and whatnot, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be probably the battle. It should be the battle. Yeah, don't forget to share all this good Pokemon content with your friends and whatnot. And with that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be the battle against the New York Malamars. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.